It's working? Yes? Okay, then let me start my timer. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for attending my session. It's really an honor to be here at Spring.io in Barcelona. So I'm Sébastien Blanc. I'm half French, half Dutch. That's why I have this weird accent. You can follow me on Twitter, follow my trolls if you want, so follow me. And I work for Red Hat, right? It's a Linux company. And you wonder what I'm doing here at Spring.io. But, we do a lot of other things than Linux. And let's just forget about companies. For me, there are two things that matter: community and code. And when we have two awesome pieces of code that can work together, well, no matter which company is behind, because it's a win-win for the community, for the committers, and for the companies. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk to you about today. I will talk about Spring Boot and Keycloak. So that means that I'm going to talk about security. That sounds boring, no? Yeah. I hate it. We all hated security. But, any serious project that you will do, you cannot avoid this moment that you will have to do some security. You want to have identity management. You want to be users to be able to register to your app, to authenticate yourself. So how does that work usually? Well, you do it yourself, so meaning hacking your backend, adding tables in your database for the users' names, for the password. How do you store the password, by the way? Then you have to implement the whole authentication flows. Okay. And then there's the front end. You have to create all these registration forms, logging forms. Okay. Once you're done, you push that to Josh's favorite place, production. And guess what happens for the new project? Well, you have to do it all over again. So, wouldn't it be nice if you could delegate all this stuff, all this security, identity management, authentication stuff, to one single server that will handle that for you? Delegating your security. That's what Skin is. Usually, I use a picture from the movie Bodyguard, but I say, well, 2017, let's refresh it and use some sexy picture. So, will be great if you have just one server, and no matter what app you add, front-end app, microservices, Node.js app, mobile app, they don't have to care about security because one single server will handle that. And that's exactly what Keycloak is. Okay, so I just have 2 slides left just to give you the big picture of Keycloak, and then we will dive into some live coding session. We will start from scratch, and I will show you how you can use Keycloak and secure your Spring Boot apps and add identity management. So the main concept with Keycloak are realms. So that's a really hard word to say for me, so I prefer to say territory. So at Keycloak, you give him a territory that he has to secure. And I made this funny image here. So imagine we have this island with different cities. In the north, we have GEE land. No one wants to go there anymore. Not sure why. On the contrary, on the seaside, we have Angular land. Everyone wants to go there. It's really the place to be. We got microservices land. In the sand, we're not sure what's happening there. And of course, in the middle, we have Node.js, the king of the world right now. And, well, you arrive with your little boat here. And you navigate to Angular land. So that means you open your browser and you go to your web app, to your Angular app. And there, of course, you have border control. And customs check you and say, hey, you are not authenticated. Please go to the Keycloak island. And that is exactly what happens. You get a redirect, an HTTP redirect from your app that sends you to the Keycloak island. And there you will have a login screen. You log in. If everything is OK, well, Keycloak generates a GWT token, a JWT, which is a self-contained token, a token that contains a payload and stuff like that. It's like a stamp on your passport. It gives it back to you. You are redirected back to your app. And from there, you can visit all the islands as long as you are authorized in your roles to visit all these islands. So that's Keycloak in a few minutes. Usually, in my talks, I have a lot more slides. But this time, I decided, well, we are all developers here. Let's do some live coding from scratch. I want you to experience the real, the whole journey of someone that will discover Keycloak, download it, and start from scratch and starting a new app. So, and I will take time between each step to explain you how Keycloak works. Okay, so let's switch. Here, so your journey starts on the keycloak.org site, and more especially here on the download section. All you have to do is click here, and that will download the latest release of the Keycloak server. It's just a zip. You download it, and then it arrives in your download folder. I downloaded it this morning, as you can see. And what you do here is really simple. I will just set this a bit more easy. You just unzip it wherever you want. Don't look at my downloads. Spring.io demo, let's extract it here. OK. Extraction is completed. And if I go here, I should have it. OK, Keycloak. And I just go to the bin folder. And there I have a command, standalone, that will launch my app. What I add here is just a port offset, because my Spring Boot apps will run on port 8080 just for convenience. OK, I just start my app. That's Java EE, yeah, by the way. OK, so my Keycloak server is started. So if I browse to localhost 8180/off, I am presented with this screen because it's the first time that I start my Keycloak server, and I need to create a super admin user. So let's create a super complicated user, admin, password, you guess it, admin. OK, and from there, I can now access my console with, whoa, yes, that's a login form, come on. Admin. OK, this is my console, my Keycloak console. From here, I can manage everything. I can manage my territories, my rooms. I can manage my users, my roles, and my clients. So first thing we will do is create a new realm. We can stay on the master realm, but it's a good practice to create your own realm. So let's create a Spring.io realm. OK, and then we need to create a client. So what is a client in Keycloak terminology? A client is an application that you will secure. So it can be a web app, it can be a Java EE app, a Spring Boot app. For Keycloak, it's a client. So what we will do here is create a new client. And let's call it the product app, because we're going to build a product app. As you can see in my stuff, it's not the first time. Client protocol, by default, Keycloak tries to push you to use OpenID. OpenID, which is on top on OS 2. It's really the way to go. It's not, currently, it's still not the main protocol used. The main protocol that is used is SAML. So if you need SAML, well, you're not lucky, but you can switch to SAML. We support SAML out of the box. So here I do a save. And, oh, just get confused by the resolution, but that's okay. I can keep here all the defaults. There's just one mandatory field that I need to enter is the valid redirect URL. That means when my app will send me to Keycloak and that I log in, once I'm logged in, I need to be redirected to my app. And Keycloak has to know exactly where he wants to, where it needs to be redirected. So in my case, it will be our app that we will build in a few minutes. It's 8080, no context, / wildcard. Here we go. Okay, that's good. Second step, let's create a role. So in our app, we will have just one role for now that is called user, the user role, basic role. I just add role, save it. And let me just change one thing here, is default roles. So here I can say each time that a new user will be created, I want to assign some default roles to it. In this case, each time that I create a new user, I want to assign him the user role. So let me just add this one. Here we go. No save, okay. And last thing, let's create an initial user. So here I go to username. I just call him Sebi. That's my nickname. Save. And by default, a user has no credentials, no password. So let's create just a simple password. Sebi. And here I turn off temporary password. If I leave the switch on, first time I log in, I will have to change my password. But for convenience, I just remove that. I reset my password. OK, we are done on the Keycloak side. So let's build a, oh, sorry for this noise. Let's build a Spring Boot app. And where do you start when you make a Spring Boot app? On start.spring.io. I won't do the Josh joke with zooming in, making your life better with stuff. OK. Let's call it the product, come on, the product app. And what do I need for my app? So it's a web app, so I need some web stuff. It's a Spring MVC app. I'm using FreeMarker, so let's add FreeMarker. And of course, Keycloak. That's it's going to fall again. That's all I need. So let me generate this project. Here we go. And let me extract that in. Yeah, I love GoldenEye. Here, extract it. OK, here we go. And it go to IntelliJ. And I just open my new project. It's here. Product app. New window. OK. So it will be a really, really, really simple app, a product app, where I will have a landing page, public, with just one link called products. And when I click on that, I will have a list of products. Awesome. So let's start from there. Let's start by creating our index page. So I create a new HTML file. Let's call it index.html. OK, title, my awesome landing page. OK, here we go. And we put a small h1 landing page. OK, and just a link, href to products. And we call it my products. Is the font all right for everyone? Or does it need to be bigger or smaller? OK? Because I just made a shortcut. So easy. OK. That's it. Let's go to our app here. Let me make this still bigger. What shall we start with? Creating a controller, of course. And we say that my product controller. OK, here we go. And we just have one endpoint, which is my products. pass, sorry, products. Okay, here we go. Public, and we return a string because we return the name of the template. Get products, and what I do here, I pass a model for free marker, and what I do is I put add attribute, I pass my products, okay, and let's do that hardcore style arrays list as list, and let's just pass some iPod, iPhone, and an iPad. Okay, and I just return product, the name of my template. And let's create this template now. So, new file. Let's call it products.ftl because it's the free marker template. And here I need to do some imports. And here I use my magic live templates. I love that. I discovered that 2 days ago. It's so convenient. HTML, really simple. H1, my products. Okay, and then I want to iterate on the list of my products. So I need a list, and look. Oh. Hey, that's nice. And what I do here is I iterate on my products, and I just make a list of my products. I need just one last thing. Let's make that in a PR. I want a logout button because I want to be able to log out. And I do this, log out. Okay, here we go, log out. Here we go. And since I have logout here, I just need in my controller to add a logout mapping, get mapping, and here I say for logout, here we go, public string logout, and I just pass my HTTP servlet request in that, and all I do is request dot logout, and I return to my landing page. Okay, so that should work. That should be my app. What is there? Oh yeah, exception. And let me just add exception. So, okay, here we go. Now let's integrate Keycloak with that. And the nice thing is I don't have to touch any part of the code here. All I have to do is add some properties. And if you type here Keycloak, well, you will see some code completion already. Let me go through the properties that are needed. The first one, really important one, is the auth server URL. So we need to tell where Keycloak is running. In our case, it's running on our local host on 8081/auth. Then I need to say on which realm we are running. So we just created a realm called spring.io. I need to say if it's a public client or a private client. In our case, we use a public client, so say that true. And last thing, I need to say the name of my client, and we used product app, if I remember well. So that's it. For now, let's not add any security constraints. Let's make sure the app is running. So we should run it here. Okay. Let me just make sure the app is running. Localhost 8080, my awesome landing page, my products. Okay. So my app is working, but now I want to secure this page. So how do I do that? That's pretty easy. If you have done any Java EE security before, you know that in your web.xml, you have to add security constraints, where you give patterns of your URLs and stuff like that. You can map it with walls. Well, we use that here, but instead of using web.xml, you can define that in your properties file. So main part here is to create a new security constraint. And we say roles, I just want the user role to be able to do that. And then I go again here, and I create a security collection. And here I say my pattern, and I say I want that everything. So basically what I say here, every call to this URL, well, should be authenticated and should at least have the role user. If not, you're redirected to Keycloak to log in, and that's it. Okay, that's all I need. I'm just double checking. Okay, and let's just relaunch the app. And now, if I go back to my product, it started, okay. And if I go to my product, bam. So here what happened, I've been redirected to Keycloak. And so that is not my app, that is the login form from Keycloak. And here, if I use my user that we just created, Sebi, I should be logged in. So that is how I added security in no time. Let's make sure the logout works. Okay, I'm logged out. And let me go here. And I just want to show you a bit how we can fine-tune this logging screen. So for that, let me just go back to my Keycloak console. And here in Realm settings, we have the tab Login. So it will be nice, for instance, that I can register new users. Forgot password. Yeah, that's really a thing that people need. If I go here and email and I configure my email server, Keycloak will send reset emails and all stuff like that. Remember me, of course, that's always something we want. Don't want to log in over and over. Okay, I just save that. And if I go back to my app, which is here, and if I just refresh, you can see it has been added. So let's make sure it's working. So I want to register a new user. So I get here a registration form. And let's create a Spring.io user. First name, Spring.io, Spring.io, Spring.io at springio.net. Password, Spring.io, Spring.io. Okay, I register, and it register and authenticate my user immediately. So I can create new users on the fly. And of course, all this, here you see the default theme of Keycloak. Of course, all the screens are based on templates, on FreeMarkers templates, by the way. And so you can provide your own set of templates that fits your company look and feel, of course. Every screen is customized, too hard to say. You can change it. Okay, one more other thing. Probably you want your users, you are a modern company and you want to give the possibility to your users to log in with their social accounts, with Twitter, Facebook. Let's see if we can do that. So if you go here to identity providers, you have here add providers, and you can see a whole list of providers. So we are all developers here, so you probably have a GitHub account. So if I do that, I just put here dummy numbers, but here you should put your real credentials. Okay, let's save that, and let's add just another one, like Twitter. Let me just put dummy numbers. Okay, save it. Here we go, and you guess it, if I go back to my screen here that I refresh, okay, I got it. And that just works. So if you put your real credentials and that you've created in client that accept this credential, well, if you click Twitter, you will be redirected to Twitter. You probably have already done that for other apps, asking for to authorize your app to use your Twitter account. So you see, it's pretty easy to introduce Keycloak in your app. But let's first drink a bit and check my time. Okay. We are here at Spring.io, so I guess you are all Spring users. And if you have been doing a bit of security, there's a big chance that you have been doing Spring security, okay? So let's see if Keycloak can play with Spring Security as well. Let's change our app that we have here. And first thing that we will do is go to the POM here, and let's add, if you want to start with Spring Security, what you do for every project you do, you just add the security starter. Okay? Well, good news. We have some support for Spring Security. So anyone that knows a bit Spring Security, you know that the first thing you have to do is to provide your own security config class, where you define the routes that you want to secure and stuff like that. Well, what we do is we have our own subclass of the security config that you can extend as well. And so that means if you have an application already using Spring Security, it's pretty easy to switch. You just have to change the class you are extending. So let's do that. Let's go to my app, and this time, because there's a bit of code to type, let me show you my other favorite place of the internet, which is the Keycloak documentation. So we have a lot of documentation here, so I really advise you to go there. And we have some documentation about the Spring Security adapter. And, well, we explain some stuff here. And here we have an example of a security config that extends our Keycloak security configure adapter. And what I just can do here, I can just, let me use my mouse. Man, this resolution is a bit disturbing. Okay. And I should be able to just paste it here. And it should do enable auto import, sorry. Okay. And it should now import my stuff. Why isn't it importing stuff? And let me just remove public here. So here I have some stuff to change. That is from the documentation. I don't need that. What I want is products to be secured, and it's a user in lowercase. By the way, by default, if you know, Spring Security roles are prefixed with role in uppercase with underscore. I could change that in Keycloak, so prefix it with underscore. But what you can also do is change that here and provide a simple authority mapper. So just ignore, don't add the prefix. So here I do gap. Wow, you see how fast I type? And Keycloak authentication provider, and here I say set granted authority, and I want a new simple authority mapper. Okay, and last thing I have to change here is to provide the object that I just created. And the second thing that I need to change, sorry, is the configuration. So Spring Security adapter is really separate from the Spring Boot adapter because we have users that don't use Spring Boot but that use Spring Security. So we have two different adapters. But if you use the starter, it's bring together. But by default, the Spring Security adapter won't look for the properties in the application.properties, but it will look in the default location where Keycloak stores the configuration, which is a file called keycloak.json. But we can override that and say, no, I want, again, I'm typing really fast. Again, I say here, no, my config resolver, I want to use the Keycloak Spring Boot config resolver. And just by mentioning that, that means that my Spring Security adapter will look in the application.properties. Okay, so, well, I'm done, I think. One thing I can do, since we are using Spring Security, I can remove that. We don't need it anymore because it's my Spring Security. And what we could do, let me see. Let's make for sure it's working. Okay, so let me restart my app. Here we go. Okay, and if I go to my app here, let's go back to the landing page. Let's refresh it. My product, well, we can try Spring IO. I just created this user, and here I should, Spring Okay, let's use Sebi, it's easier. My mind don't want to type Spring. I know, why? Okay, so exactly the same result, but imagine what happened. So I just put out my Java EE security constraints, and in place I used Spring Security. And it's just working, and what I could do here, for instance, is, yeah, let's do that. It was not planned in the demo, but I could inject my principal probably in here. Principal, and I can add that in my model, add attribute. Let's add principal, and here I put my principal, okay, and I just change my template here, and I say, hello, hello, principal get name, I think. Not sure about that. Get name, something like that. Let's just see if that works. Let's restart the app, and let me refresh that. Hello, okay, so it's working by, oh, I'm messing up with my text, but by default it's using the ID. If we want the username, it's pretty easy, we can do that. Let me just fix that because it's ugly. And what I can do here, I have a property called principal attribute, and I think it's called preferred user. No, preferred username, something like that. Let me switch that. Okay, and if I refresh my page here, hello Sebi. So you see, you get all the features of Spring Security. You can 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Wow. Okay. I'm a bit short on time, so let's really switch quickly. Now I have some big Spring MVC app. What I really would like to do is that my product comes from an external service, a REST service that just provides the products. And my Spring MVC app will call this product. Okay? So let's do that now. I'm really short in time then. Okay, no problem. I can do that. Let's create quickly a service. So class product. Now it's hard coding time. Product service, and I just do something that is called public list string get products. Okay, and here I will return my products from my service. So the thing is, I want to make a REST call to another app that I'm going to build. But that app will also be secured with Keycloak. And all I need to do to call a secured Keycloak service is to pass in the header the authentication token. That is all I have to do. So usually, what do we do with Spring apps to call other REST services? We use a REST template. So what we do with Keycloak, we provide a Keycloak REST template that will take care for you of putting the authentication token in the header. So you don't have to care about that. And let me go quickly to the documentation again. And if you go here to client support, awesome, that is what we need. We need to configure some stuff. Lucky, I can just copy-paste that, awesome. And I go here in my security config, and I should be able to just paste that. Okay, and then in my service, I just need to do this. Look, it's calling products. So convenient. I wonder why. I'm so lucky. let's go here, and I can just replace that. And exactly, and let me just replace this HTTP localhost 8081/products. Okay, and basically what I do here, I call my products. Okay, and what I can do in my, I can do here auto write product service. Yes, I know I should not use property injection, but yeah, I'm a Red Hat guy, so. Okay, product, and what I do here is I call my product instead, my service instead, get products, and that should be okay, okay. One last thing. Okay, let me remove that. One last thing I have to do is to create my REST service, so let's do that. New project, so you can do it from here, and let's do a product REST. And what I need is web and Keycloak. Keycloak, it's all I need. Next, finish. Okay, new window, awesome. Let me go to the app, really simple. All I need is a REST controller and product controller. Okay, here we go. And what does it do? Yes, we got to get mapping, okay, on path products and public list string get products. Here we go, and what it does, it just return arrays. Exactly the same thing as, oh, did I import bouncy castle? Come on, guy. No. Arrays, yeah, from util, sorry, as lists, and I return here iPad and iPhone. Let's keep it short because I'm really short in time. And what I need to do here again is configure my Keycloak. So here we do HTTP //localhost 8081 /us. No mistakes here. Okay. Yeah. And here I do Keycloak realm is spring.io. Resource is product REST. Okay. I have to create this client. I don't have to forget it. Keycloak, beware only. So now I'm stressing because of the time. Beware only. So that is a flag that I say this is a beware only app. Only request with authentication token should be accepted. If there are no authentication, I just send a forbidden because there's no human interaction with a REST service. So here I just flag it as this. And then I got, I think I had some, oh yeah, awesome. I'm so happy for this. You, and here I say products /star, okay. One last thing, I need to go back to my console here, and I need to create a new client, and I call it product REST, save, and here all I need to do is say it's a beware only client. Okay, so I declare this client. Okay, let me go back here, and before I forget, server port 8081. Okay, let me run that app here. So Shift F10. No? There's a mistake? Where? Oh yeah. That's. Okay, so my app is starting here. My product app. Did I do the replacement here? Yes. Okay. Let me restart it then. Okay. And now we should out here. And if okay, I didn't log out, but you see it's working because you see here it's just my shortlist from my external service. So basically what I did, I logged in into my Spring MVC app, and then I called another service running, and I just passed a token just to prove you that it is secured. If I go to localhost 81/products, I should have a localhost 81/products. Okay, he tries to. Why I'm doing this? Oh yeah, exactly. Okay. No, but otherwise it shouldn't work. But okay, I shouldn't have shown you that. But because it's working, so that's it. So I think I'm too short. I'm how much? I have 10 minutes. But I had 10 minutes ago. Okay, that's awesome because then I can. I love time in Spain. It's so relaxed. I'm from the south of France. It's also really relaxed, but here it's even more relaxed. Okay then. Then we can move to the last part of the demo. So I have this server here. Where we only. That's the problem. Sorry. True. Okay. That's the problem. Let me just relaunch this REST service. And now if I go to localhost 881/products, yeah, that's what I want to show you. I got, because it's beer only, if a browser tries to access it, it just return a 401. Okay, so, but now we have a REST service running. That's nice. That means that we can build other apps that consumes this REST service. And you probably are all doing that. You probably have web apps that consume REST services. So that's not really related to Spring Boot or whatever. It's more web, but I'm pretty sure you are all doing that. So I want to show you how to use the Keycloak JavaScript library to access, how to use Keycloak on the front end and how to access protected service. So I won't be doing live coding for that. I have an app that is already done, already made. Let me go here. It's the Angular 1, the old school app. 1 year ago I was really proud, but now with Angular 4, it's so old school. But it's a pretty standard Angular app. And all I need to do to use Keycloak is to bring in the Keycloak library. So the Keycloak library is served, if you need, is served by the Keycloak server. But it's also on Bower, for instance, or you just can copy-paste it, whatever you want. Doesn't really matter. So the basic thing is here that I say, okay, I start my Keycloak library, and when I start my Keycloak library, I want users to be logged in. Otherwise, we do the redirect dance, we go to Keycloak, you log in, and once you're logged in, we come into this success callback here, and here we create an authentication service, Keycloak stuff, we put the Keycloak object in there. And finally, we bootstrap our Angular app. Okay, that's the first part. So you log in and stuff like that. Then, each time that our app will make requests to services, like our product REST service, it needs to put the header on the request. So how do you do that? So with plain JavaScript, you will play with the XR object and set the headers manually. With Angular, we have this nice thing of interceptors. So you can inject an interceptor on the HTTP service. And that is what we do here. So don't look too much at code. We are doing some sexy promises stuff here. But basically, the important line is this one. Each time that we make a call, we just add the header to the request. and we inject this interceptor, and that's it. So that's it. Here I have my configuration file that I need to update. So you see that was my test from 2 days ago. Here it's spring.io and resource product web. Okay, I need to create this client in my console. And then we will be good. Clients, let me create product web. Here we go. And I just need HTTP local host 82. I'm running there. One important thing, since I'm accessing from a web client, I need to add all the origins, because why not? Save. Speaking of course, I must be sure that my app here, my West app, supports course. So that's pretty easy. With Keycloak, we have a properties here called course true. And if this isn't true, it will take care of returning the good headers when options is called. I think we are done here. Okay, and all I need to do is start my web app, which is running here. Okay, and so don't pay attention to the Maven command. It's just a web app that I've wrapped into a Wildfly Swarm. Wildfly Swarm is the competitor of Spring Boot. Yeah. It was just a small challenge for me to put some Wildfly Swarm in the demo. But I just use it to wrap it a web app here. So it's a great stuff. You should check it out. Okay, here we go. So if I haven't done any mistake, I should be able here to go to port 8082, where my web app is running. And I should, so first thing that you see, hey, I don't have a logging screen. Why is that? Because, and that's one of a really important point that I forgot to say you, Keycloak provides, of course, single sign-in. So what happened here is that I'm already logged in this app. And when I come here, I open a new app. He has a session, an HTTP session. You say, hey, you're already logged in, so you don't need to log in. And if I do reload here, I got my products. So that's just working. I can show you, that can be funny if we go to the network and we do this. And I do reload here, products. If you take a look here, you can, it's this one, sorry. This one, you can see here we have the token. So if I grab this token, so it's a JOT token, as they call it. If you go to doublety.io here, and that I paste this token here, it's decoded here. So you can see here it's a product web app, preferred username Sebi. So you can see that's what I mean with a JOT token. I don't have enough time to speak to you about GWT. It's really great. So that is the token that will be used. It's signed by Keycloak server, and all the services with a public key can verify the signature, so they are sure the token is all right. So I give you the big picture, but just small stuff. You can do way more with Keycloak. You can do user federation with LDAP. You have a whole authorization layer if you want really fine-grained authorization based on attributes or stuff like that. We have SAML support, Kerberos support. We have a lot of adapters for Wildfly, for Node.js. We have a whole Node.js support. But I'm here today and tomorrow, so if you have any questions, you can just ping me. I will be more than happy to show you that. Of course, it's all open source, and we welcome contributions. All the Spring security stuff has been contributed by the community. I just made some changes there, some polishing, but all the stuff came from the community, which is awesome. And as you saw, it's on the start.spring.io page. I want to thank Stefan Nicole for that. We have been working together. He helped me a lot to get it there. So. And I didn't have any demo effect. That is because of my daughter's course. And I hope you enjoy my session. And thank you very much. Questions, or you just can? Are there any questions? Yes?
How does it relate to this Red Hat single sign-on?
Yeah, so I showed you here the community version. The Red Hat single sign-on is our supported product version, paid support. So it's exactly the same, but with Red Hat support, you have to pay and you get support. That's the whole Red Hat business model. But basically, it's the same thing. It's just a fork. Okay? No other questions? Okay. If you're shy, you can come over and can answer your questions. Thank you very much.